The freshwater bodies of our planet are equally mysterious as the salty water. In fact, some of them are home to many otherworldly, terrifying, and prehistoric creatures, while a few can even reveal some thrilling realities. So, get your eyes glued to each of such shocking discoveries made in a river. River monster. A demon-like face with terrifying red eyes under angry brows and two long tusks outside the row of pointed teeth, emerging out of the murky pool and swimming toward the edge to drag you inside its filthy water home. I think just assuming a horrifying creature like this will be scary enough for you. But don't worry, guys, as this isn't real. In fact, it can be clearly seen that this guy is wearing a mask and acting like a river demon. Well, where was this video filmed, and why was this man acting so weird? That part's still unclear. If any one of you knows about this place, let us know by commenting below. Sunken land started rising. A very bizarre video of land abruptly rising above the river is quickly going viral on the internet and has generated much debate in the comments section. This peculiar incident was filmed in India by a shocking bystander who freaked out when the land submerged under the river and suddenly bumped up and collapsed after rising a few feet above the ground. People came up with different theories about this unknown phenomenon: climatic change, an earthquake, or trapped methane below the ground was declared the culprit behind this. Yet, even after so many suggestions and watching the clip again and again, no one is exactly sure what might be the actual cause. Crocodile attacked cheetah. Is it even possible for one of the fastest creatures on Earth to get taken down by a reptile? Well, if the opponent is water's most ferocious predator, this might be possible. Here is a heart-stomping clip of an unfortunate cheetah who made a mistake. That turned out to be the last mistake of its life. Filmed during a live safari, a male cheetah could be seen approaching a water hole to quench its thirst, unaware of the crocodile that was in the water close by, but barely visible. Just when the feline bent down to drink, a large crocodile chose that time to strike, latched the cheetah in its jaws, and vanished back to enjoy the meal. Maggoted carcass. Is this a clay statue? Well, if you think the same, don't worry, because it's not only you or me who got confused, but also the guys who discovered it, remaining puzzled after seeing this creature near a river. But upon getting closer, the figure turned out to be a true picture of nature's gruesome side. It was actually a rotting carcass of a bear that might have died a few days ago, and now the decaying animal was acting as an ideal feeding ground for countless maggots that have blanketed the whole animal white. Millions of maggots could be seen crawling all over the body. That was just the beginning of the transformation of the corpse into a skeleton. River devils. Look at this perfectly complete bird skeleton. This bony structure that looks like the flawless work of a skilled sculptor was actually a full, fleshy duck just a few minutes before. But after this guy put the whole plumpy bird into the river, its fleshy aroma invited a whole community of river devils, the red-bellied piranhas. And then, one after another, bite after bite, each of them tasted the hanging treat. And in the nick of time, they ate the whole meaty pack, and only this was left behind. Next time, take a closer look before dipping your toes in the water. Otherwise, you may end up like this. Zombie croc. A disembodied river monster still blinking its eyes and moving its scary snout. Wait now, it's not a scene from a horror zombie movie. This terrifying moment happened in October 2020, when a farmer found a strange crocodile near a river. The beheaded animal was thought to have been killed after locking its snout tightly, yet even after the croc's head was chopped off from its body, the apex predator was still able to show off its predatory skills by blinking its eyes and snapping its monstrous jaws. But the reality behind this scary zombie croc story is the reptilian property of reflex twitching of muscles that causes the expired animal to move. Huge huge anaconda. If the zombie croc didn't send you cold chills, I'm sure that this will. Or at least it'll make you think twice before you plan a cruise to the Amazon River. A heart-stopping moment was filmed in a Brazilian river when a couple of tourists spotted a giant snake swimming in the murky water. But as it had already eaten something large, the heavy snake headed off after striking the boat of the terrified visitors. One of them, however, grabbed the huge anaconda by its tail and dragged it across the river as the boat paddled off. The giant snake might have fought back, but since it was incapacitated, it eventually wriggled free and swam away. Crocodile with a tire necklace. A huge cash prize for anyone who can help this monster. Yes, you heard that right. This cash prize announcement was made back in 2016 in Indonesia for an endangered Siamese crocodile that was spotted with a rubber part from a vehicle stuck on its body. The distressed animal was thought to be stuck in trouble for over half a decade and left wildlife officials fearing because the growing reptile could be strangled by the inelastic item. However, after several failed attempts, the tire necklace was cut off from its neck, and it was released back to its home. Yet it is still unclear how this fearsome monster got stuck in the rigid, rubbery trouble in the first place. Strange creature of Brunei. Some of the strange aquatic animals, including mysterious alien-like creatures, have baffled the whole netizens community, and many of them are still unidentified. One of these unknown life forms stunned people in 2017 when it was discovered swimming in a river in Brunei. The beast, with a bizarre, toothy snout, appeared on the river just like an alligator and swam swiftly across the surface. The person who filmed it called it a mutated gar, but many think that it might be a new species, as nothing like that was seen before in that river. Fish swimming without a body. Can you guys figure out which species of fish this is? Well, if you guys guess right, hats off to you, because it took me a long time to understand what I was actually looking at. This confusing critter was discovered by a fisherman in the clear waters of Maldives. Surprisingly, with 90% of the body missing, the fish was observed swimming normally, just like other sea creatures. It must be painful for the fish to survive like this in a world full of predators. Yet for the spectators, it was truly unbelievable. Some people stated it was functioning because its brain was alive, but I'm still puzzled over its unique survival skill. Two-headed catfish. A two-headed catfish. It might sound like a mythical marine animal, but this creature is real. Last year in November, a small two-headed catfish was captured in a river, although it is very rare because such mutants usually don't survive and die immediately after birth. This small catfish with a fully grown second head in the place of its tail was filmed defying all the odds. A lot of commentators started joking about the fish, and some even claimed it to be a fake one. However, the way the creature was wriggling seemed real. What do you guys say? Prehistoric fish trapped in a fence. It's okay to spot a fish trap in a fishing net, but finding a prehistoric fish trapped in a fence is genuinely unbelievable. 8 years back in Texas, an explorer came upon a surprising sight while assessing the damage left behind by a massive hurricane. Just after the floodwater receded, a 3-foot dino-looking bony fish with scales forming a hard armor was found trapped in a metal fence. The ancient fish was identified as a juvenile long-nosed gar, which might have tried to swim past the chain-link fence during the high flood, yet unfortunately couldn't make it to get to the other side and remained stuck there to form a fossil. Headless fish. Next on the list is a short clip that shows a fisherman holding a headless fish in his hand. What's weirder was the trawl could be seen twisting and wriggling back and forth. Was the fish already beheaded before it was caught, or was the fisherman the culprit behind this? As more headless bodies could be seen in a nearby tub. No matter what the real background story is, the fish was continuously twitching in a hope to get back to life. Eyeless creature. In 2016, a Malaysian fisherman caught something really creepy that he was unable to identify or explain. So he filmed and posted a video of this shocking creature and let the netizens name it. People first freaked out to see the eyeless, scaleless, and fangless creature, which was never seen before, and was dubbed Deep Sea Oddity. Some even claimed it to be a mutated one, but according to marine biologists, it was an eel goby that is actually a mud-dwelling sea creature. Giant Marlin Head. This clip, posted in 2006 by Ultimate Fishing Channel, shows one of the most spectacular sights in fishing. A group of excited anglers decided to reel in a huge black marlin that was jumping and bouncing on the water surface. After a remarkable jump, the fish suddenly pulled free from the line and began splashing its 5-foot-long bill violently across the blue surface to avoid the attack of the sea monster. Even after struggling for life, the marlin suddenly disappeared from the scene. Yet a few minutes later, the group noticed something and quickly pulled it out. And on the boat arrived only one big head that belonged to that 1,000-pound marlin, which was splashing in the water just a few minutes before. Cow stuck in the tree. This title might confuse you because we've often seen kittens or other small animals stuck in trees or fences, but to spot a huge mammal like this trapped in the woods is pretty strange. A video posted 2 years back shows a couple of men standing in waist-deep water trying to rescue a heavy cow. The poor animal got trapped during a heavy flood and was fixed in a tree a few meters above the ground. Fortunately, it was spotted by a rescue crew who used a chainsaw to cut the branches around the cow and let the heavy mammal free. Shark rescued. A marine biologist, while doing her research work near a river, noticed a shark stranded in the tall grass. The high water currents might have caused this 3-foot-long shark to lose its way and left it out of the air. Confused and unable to get back into the water, the male juvenile bonnet-head shark was struggling hard for life. But thanks to this brave lady who rescued the poor animal and relocated it to the water, she also helped the shark to get out of the confusion and find its way back home. Bear head stuck in jar. Here's another heartwarming clip of an animal rescue that is winning praise on social media. A bear cub found itself in trouble when it got a plastic jar stuck on its head. Luckily, help was at hand for the animal. A family was fishing at a lake when they came across the baby bear struggling to breathe and swim with a plastic helmet. They maneuvered their fishing boat to get closer to the bear cub. One of them leaned over the edge to grab the container and managed to remove it after several attempts. The cub, after getting its head out, happily swam back to the shore. Burglar alligator. Now, it looks like this snouted family has determined to steal anything they find on their habitat's edge. And anything means anything. Well, check this hungry alligator who just couldn't help itself and decided to steal this little boy's catch while he was fishing with his dad. The little fisherman was pulling his hardest to reel in the big fish, and before he could celebrate his only catch of the day, a huge water burglar rushed out of the water, grabbed the boy's catch, and gulped the whole fish. Luckily, no one was injured, and the gator, after ripping the boy's pole into the water, swam away with a tummy full of yummy food. Human bones. At the beginning of 2019, while walking along the bank of Dead Man's Island, a pair of friends came across a pile of bones that included half a dozen human jawbones, ribs, and pelvises, some of which were buried under the muddy land and a few were exposed. Although this place was known to be used as a burial place for the prisoners who perished from disease in the 19th century, to find a huge number of bones scattered all around the land was not expected. This picture shows a huge crowd of terrified people gathered near a river to get a glimpse of something that was mysteriously hiding under the bridge. This happened in Jamaica, when a huge crocodile, after attacking a senior citizen, disappeared from the town and made its way to the nearby river. After this killer croc was found, a huge group of locals gathered around the river, while two of them bravely tried to pull it out of the water so that it may not harm any other person in the city. But the reptilian, being a clever crocodile, managed to cheat the hunters and faded away into the thick water. And the curious onlookers suddenly dispersed after the police arrived on the scene. Megagator. No, this is not a scene from a Hollywood horror crocodile movie. This is a real-life alligator that was seen coming out of a pond and walking across at a nature reserve in Central Florida. The surprised locals named this megagator Hunchback that was strolling freely along the fields. Although Florida is known as a home of giant crocodiles, this dino-sized hunchbacked gator just took the cake. This mega gar, that was estimated to be 15 feet in length, invited the excited citizens to capture some otherworldly moments of it from each angle, while emerging from dense growth of shrubs. Horned crocodile. A twist in the story of crocs took place in 2019, when a team of researchers decided to search for the remains of an extinct croc species that disappeared just 2,000 years ago. Finally, their search ended in a flooded underground cave, where they found a skull of a crocodile species that was identified as a horned crocodile of Madagascar, the earliest relative of Nile crocodile, which was forgotten for more than 20 centuries. After getting the skull in hand, the excited team decided to take it to the research center, where they could extract its DNA and fix that horned crocodile in the story of crocodile's evolution. Giant eel. Finding an eel lurking in shallow waters is pretty common, but spotting one alive stuck on the side of a wall and asking for help, now that's not something you see every day, especially if the serpent is this giant. You must try to put it back where it belongs, as this guy did when he found a giant eel fixed on a wall's side, trying to get out of the dry and get back into its wet habitat. After taking all safety measures to avoid the hard bite of the eel, the young guy rescued and encouraged the elongated fish to swim freely into its freshwater habitat. Giant sturgeon. A monster fish with a bone-breaking 716 pounds of weight and jaw-dropping 10 feet in length. This is exactly what we call a catch of the day. In May 2018, a Chinese fisherman hit the jackpot after a massive marine animal landed in his fishing net. The heavy fish was identified as a female Kaluga sturgeon, the largest freshwater fish, and was thought to be 100 years old. The prehistoric creature was transported to the local department for further research, where it was kept in a huge pool. However, after biological analysis, the pristine mammoth was released back into its deep habitat. Faceless fish. Seen for the first time in over a century, a truly bizarre fish that seems like a faceless creature with no visible eyes and a mouth underneath its body was discovered during an underwater scientific expedition that was carried out in the never-before-explored parts of Australia. The two tiny red spots on the 2-foot-long body of this bizarre fish were thought to be its nostrils, and the weird creature was considered to be a whole new species of marine life. The extremely rare faceless fish was the only specimen, so it was carefully placed in an icebox and was transported to a research center for further analysis. Sasquatch in swamp. While canoeing near a swamp in Tampa in 2015, a boy felt some scary noises and freakish movements in the woods and decided to film it. At first, the hairy monster emerged like a huge ape, but when he moved closer, it started to look less and less like an animal. After swinging in the woods with its strong, long arms, it began to splash in the swamp and disappeared into the thick woodland. First, he thought it was a bear, but bears are not able to walk skillfully through the woods on two legs. A huge gorilla, bear, ape, or a legendary Sasquatch? Many people came up with different titles, but which title do you think fits the best? Thank you very much for watching this video. Do like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.